FEMA camp. They will start chipping the people with the satanic R.F.I.D chip.
All technologies start in a neutral way, and all technologies grow in their power.
Patriot Act, Homeland Security, the Military Tribunals Act, and other legislations are all completely and entirely designed to destroy your civil liberties and limit your ability to fight back against what is coming. Currently in the United States, unannounced to most brainwashed Americans, your home can be searched without a warrant, without you being home. You can in turn be arrested with no charges revealed to you, detained indefinitely with no access to a lawyer, and legally tortured, all under the suspicion that you might be a terrorist. It's time to wake up.
I am in my apartment, sir.
Go back inside right now!
I am inside. This is my door. I'm standing right inside my apartment. Sir, I'm inside my apartment.
They just keep coming.
Oh, go inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get in your house now! Let's go! Light him up! Go inside now! Get in the house!
Be on those chips and everything on those chips. And if anybody wants to protest what we do or violate what we want, we just turn off their chip.
That's right, microchipped. In 2005, Congress, under the pretense of immigration control and the so-called war on terrorism, passed the R.F.I.D Act, under which it is projected by May 2008, you will be required to carry around a federal identification card, which includes on it a scannable barcode with your personal information. However, this barcode is only an intermediary step before the card is equipped with a Verichip R.F.I.D tracking module, which will use radio frequencies to track your every move on the planet. Monitored control grid, where every single action you perform is documented. And if you get out of line, they can just turn off your chip, for at that point in time, every single aspect of society will revolve around interactions with the chips. This is the picture that is painted for the future if you open your eyes to see it. A centralized one-world economy where everyone's moves and everyone's transactions are tracked and monitored, all rights removed.
If they say you owe us this much money in taxes, they just deduct it out of your chip digitally.
Total control.
Total control. And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip. And you have nothing. You can't buy food. You can't do anything. It's total control of the people.
And that chip's connected to a database that has your purchasing records, what you do,
Everything.
Garcic Elite. 2. Establish a global electronic currency in order to divide the world into two kinds of people, masters and slaves. 3. Implant a chip in every person with its biometric information, personal details, and the electronic money that it possesses in order to obtain absolute control of population.
This is the mark of the beast!
4. Reduce the population to control it more easily and better manage natural resources.
Hands of the New World Order.
These people and their families will be dragged out of their homes in the middle of the night. They will be driven to a black unmarked helicopter waiting to fly them to FEMA detention camps to be killed immediately. This will take place approximately 2 weeks before martial law is enforced, shortly after the crash of the economy. Blue list. These are also enemies of the state, but are followers of the red list resistors. These people will be rounded up after martial law is in place, and will be taken to the FEMA detention centers and killed. I would guess that people, such as you seeing this video, are on this list. Yellow list. The sheep. These are citizens who know nothing about the truth behind the government and the New World Order and don't want to know. They are considered to be no threat at all and will be instructed how to behave and will most likely do whatever they are told. Unfortunately, there are too many of these to be effectively controlled, so many will be killed or starved. Those people on the yellow list who are not killed will be tagged with an R.F.I.D microchip 666 and released like sheep to be tracked and controlled. Wake up. We are all on a red, blue or yellow list somewhere.
changing and falling apart at an alarming rate. The world we knew back in the 80s and 90s is no longer the same world. The New World Order's laid claim to the pie, not a slice of the pie, but the whole pie itself, the planet Earth. How long before we are all slaves to the mother government and implanted with an R.F.I.D microchip under our skin? The national ID, which is getting plenty of media attention. The national ID will be used to track. It will be like America's papers, just like at Nazi Germany. This will be your paper. You must have your papers to work. That will be the purpose of the national ID. Those that do not have the national ID card will not be able to hold a job in America. And in order for you to get the national ID card, you will have to submit to a biometric scan of your hand. It will be an R.F.I.D microchip. The ultimate goal is R.F.I.D not only for all Americans, but for every human being on the entire planet. The FEMA camps are set up and ready to go the moment the President calls martial law will be thrown in them. Also, these false flag terrorist attacks are all part of the plan to divide the country and try to get as many citizens as possible on the side of the New World Order by making you think many Americans are now deadly, dangerous terrorists. FEMA. Americans will be inserted with a microchip that has numbers in it for identification.
The last thing the men behind the curtain want is a conscious, informed public capable of critical thinking. Every other form of arbitrary, separatist identification, thus conceit, has served to create a controlled population, utterly malleable in the hands of the few. Divide and conquer is the motto, and as long as people continue to see themselves as separate from everything else, they lend themselves to being completely enslaved.
This is the only way that I can warn the public of what is coming.
The martial law portions of Rex 84 were outlined in a 1982 memo written by FEMA Deputy John Brinkerhoff. Martial law was to be declared in the event of a national crisis, yet the plan did not define the term national crisis. The plan allowed FEMA to take control of both federal and state governments, appointing military commanders to replace duly elected officials. The plan also called for the rounding up of at least 21 million American Negroes for delivery to numerous military bases converted into prison centers, also known as FEMA relocation camps.
There are more and more attempts to legitimize the use of internment camps to detain U.S. citizens in the event of unrest. We watch our leaders in Washington slowly pass bills that label ordinary Americans as thought criminals and potential domestic terrorists for simply questioning the actions of their government. We see third-party candidates and their impassioned supporters listed in secret government reports that call their allegiance into question and brand them as fanatics and extremists, all creating an entire nation of radicals and revolutionaries where everyone is a suspect, equally guilty until proven otherwise. And what is the solution to deal with these people? The same way as every other totalitarian regime throughout history. Marginalize their activities, then lock them up. Prisons are being built, internment camps constructed, and laws passed that deal severely with anyone who dares to step out of line or ask too many questions. There are approximately over 600 prison camps in the U.S., all fully operational and ready to receive prisoners.
Which is an implantable GPS for which our company owns a patent. It is the first implantable microchip for humans.
When people accept it for its applications and for its ability is when it'll work its way into society. It won't be tomorrow, it won't be next week, but 2, 3, 5 years from now, slowly but surely it'll work its way into the mainstream.
The company that makes Verichip hopes it will eventually become the norm for everyone.
Last night I dreamt about how things were. And then I woke up here. And I woke up here.
pull the needle out, and we put a Band-Aid on her, and she's chipped.
And just around the next high-tech corner, an electronic chip like this that can be implanted under your kid's skin.
Pope Benedict XVI and his security detail will reportedly begin using R.F.I.D technology to begin tracking priests and employees at the Vatican. The move to use the tracking technology comes after the Pope's butler stole sensitive documents from his apartment last year and gave them to the news media. Meanwhile, the Vatican will begin tracking its employees next month.
I had a friend, Nick Rockefeller, okay, who was one of the Rockefeller family, and he, when I was running for governor in Nevada, he came to me, introduced himself to me through an attorney, and we became friends. We started talking about things, and I learned an awful lot from Mr. Rockefeller. And one of the things that we used to talk about was the ultimate plan of the banking industry, what they wanted to accomplish. The whole agenda is to create a one-world government where everybody has an R.F.I.D chip implanted in them. All money is to be in those chips, right? There'll be no more cash. And this is given me straight from Rockefeller himself. This is what they want to accomplish. And all money will be in your chips. And so instead of having cash, anytime you have money in your chip, they can take out whatever they want to take out whenever they want to. If they say you owe us this much money in taxes, they just deduct it out of your chip digitally.
Total control.
Total control. And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip. And you have nothing. You can't buy food.